is a Republican strategist, Bernard Whitman, former Bill Clinton pollster, CEO of Whitman Insight Strategies. All right, guys, before I let you go at each other, I'm going to show again Bush and Trump going at each other over Mr. Bush's wife. Watch this. No, we don't have it. So let's role play. We saw what happened.
Sure.
Mr. Bush, Governor Bush, wanted Donald Trump to give an apology to his wife. He said she's right here in the audience. Donald Trump was having none of that. Good or bad move?
Look, I think Jeb Bush knew he came into this debate having to prove he had some energy in him. Even Donald Trump was ridiculing him for being a low-energy candidate. Jeb Bush's performance in Cleveland was really subpar. Many of us thought he kind of dialed it in. So the fact he engaged Trump directly and on this issue of a personal nature was a smart one. But I also think Donald Trump handled it appropriately. For him to have conceded and capitulated and apologized for something he didn't think he did wrong, I think would have gone against the Trump image.
Yeah.
And Trump smartly actually then took that opportunity to point out areas he disagrees with Jeb Bush, immigration being the primary one among them.
Bernard.
You know, I think, unfortunately, this shows where Donald Trump plays best, and that is in the politics of personal attacks. He's done it with Jeb Bush. He did it with Carly Fiorina. He did it with Rand Paul. He did it here with Megyn Kelly. And I think it really underscores the fact that he is absolutely devoid of substance, only engages in rhetoric, hurtful personal attack rhetoric. And I think it should scare the GOP that the front runner currently for the nomination is someone that engages in behavior like that. I think it's shameful.
He did fewer of them last night, but he has done them in the past. All right, let's look now at Marco Rubio, who many felt really answered the foreign policy questions with a lot of substance and intelligence. Watch.
These are extraordinarily dangerous times that we live in. And the next president of the United States better be someone that understands these issues and has good judgment about them. Because the number one issue that a president will ever confront, and the most important obligation that the federal government has, is to keep this nation safe. And today, we are not doing that. We are eviscerating our military, and we have a president that is more respectful to the Ayatollah in Iran than he is to the Prime Minister of Israel.
Mr. Trump.
Every time Marco Rubio spoke last night, I found myself listening. My ears perked up. But will that be reflected in the polls?
The first debate in Cleveland had Marco Rubio dominating the night by most objective and fair measures, and he still didn't move very far. In fact, he dropped a couple of points last night. Again, another very strong performance by Marco Rubio, particularly on foreign policy, which many people thought would be a weakness for him considering he was a one-term senator. Very articulate. But what made that even more powerful, Gretchen, was in that same span of time, Donald Trump gave a rather incoherent answer about Syria and Putin and the obvious fact that Russia has now reasserted its geopolitical dominance in that part of the world. So compared to that, I think it even enhances Rubio as a very good kind of understudy once Trump, or if Trump, actually loses that kind of first spot.
Okay, last clip that I want you to look at, Bernard, is Jeb Bush talking about his brother. Who would have thought that would have been the greatest applause line? Watch this.
And your brother's administration gave us Barack Obama because it was such a disaster those last 3 months that Abraham Lincoln couldn't have been elected.
You know what? As it relates to my brother, there's one thing I know for sure. He kept us safe. I don't know if you remember.
Bernard, you got a lot of applause for that.
I give props to Jeb Bush for becoming more human and for defending his brother, but this is not a playground fight. This is the world stage, and let's get the facts straight here. George Bush, fortunately, during his term in office, we did not have another serious attack after 9/11, but he got us into the war in Iraq, which completely destabilized the region, cost tens of thousands of American lives, hundreds of billions of dollars, and ultimately led to the rise of ISIS. So the fact that he's saying George W. Bush made us safer, I don't think so.
You could argue what led to the rise of ISIS. You could say that getting out of Iraq actually led to the rise of ISIS.
Well, we wouldn't have to get out if we didn't get in.
The withdrawal and retreat of President Obama's policy. Bernard, the fact that you can't even give George W. Bush credit for keeping us safe is one thing. The reality is this was Jeb Bush's best moment, not of just the debate, his entire campaign. Yeah. He fought back. He defended his brother in a way most people other than Bernard could agree with.
And to think that it was off the cuff. It was off the cuff, which made it even better. Guys, thank you.
Thanks, Chris.